So, like millions of other people, I've spent a lot of my free time over the past couple of weeks playing Elden Ring. Um, Pretty much it's kind of a weird situation because this game has blown up. At least, look, I've played all the previous Souls games except for Sekiro. I just never got around to it, and I fucking love them, completely love them. But every time I'd ever bring them up to anyone, it's always like, oh, Dark Souls, that's that really hard game, right? Oh, you must be masochistic. You must really hate yourself to enjoy that. And it's like, they just didn't get it, and it's not worth. It's a video game. It's a video game. It's not worth debating with people about, like, you should really try this because it'll change your life. It's a video game. It's not gonna, like, I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone who it has, but in all likelihood, one video game is not really going to change your life. Um, and that's coming from someone who absolutely loves video games, who's probably played more than their fair share, who really needs to play less. But there's just something different about Elden Ring it's just completely blown up, insanely. It's There's people that I've, like, friends that I've hung out with who don't really play video games at all. Like, the last video game they played was like COD Black Ops 3 back in fucking 2013 or whenever it came out. And all of a sudden this game is just completely blown up, and there's people just non-stop talking about it. So I guess for me, it's like, well, clearly this game has done something different. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed the shit. Like, I've 100% completed it. I've played way more hours than I really should have, and not gonna lie, I'm regretting it, but I'm also like, well, I did something that someone else couldn't. But in the back of my mind, it's like, it's a video game. It's really not that important. And for me, at least, to go back to what I was saying about that guy, we were hanging out at a bar, drinking, having food, whatever, and he's just like, oh, have you played this Elden Ring game? It's the fucking best. It's the greatest. I was like, yeah, I'm really fucking enjoying it. And he's like, yeah. I'm only up to like the first boss, but this might be like the best game I've ever played. The absolute best. Like, I'm sitting here talking to you, and I'll be honest, I'm thinking like, shit, I wish I was home playing Elden Ring right now. And he's like, I was at my girlfriend's the other day, and I was thinking like, fuck, I'd rather be home playing this game. It's like, that's how addicting this thing is. And it kind of hit me that that's what I've been doing for most of my life, playing video games. It's just so addicting that it doesn't matter what else you're doing. You're sitting there going like, I'd rather be doing this. Sitting in front of a screen, playing this game, and it's kind of like an epiphany moment. I'm sure plenty of other people have had the same epiphany, but holy shit. This could potentially, like, these things are, for the majority of people, are more addictive than drugs, alcohol. Like, it's just kind of crazy to think about that. And I know that this has been going on for ages. This isn't anything new. I mean, you could ask almost any fucking millennial about World of Warcraft, and they'll say the same thing. But it's just crazy to me that, in a way, there's plenty of people talking about it, but maybe just not in the right way. That, or we're all such video game addicts that we don't even realize it's a problem. And then they're putting games, well, not now, they've been doing it for ages, but putting games on phones. And you'll see people, you know, sitting at the train station, just sitting on their phone playing some idle game that you don't even really need to interact with. They're just sitting there for hours and hours and hours, where all they'll do is like, oh, we've got enough money, I'll just tap that one. And then they'll wait like another 5 minutes, and then they'll tap that one. And I'm fucking guilty of it too. But it's just crazy to me just how addictive and how expansive this has become. And that I'm an addict too. That I've been playing the shit out of this game too. I played the shit out of Call of Duty almost every year. You know? Like, and for some people it's a personality trait that they're a gamer. And I've always hated that label. And I'll do another video about labels soon, but I never liked being called a gamer because of the stigma attached to it. But now I'm realizing why there's the stigma, why this exists. And I think the wildest thing is that the people like me who are talking about this epidemic of people playing games too much have a different vice, whether it be movies or TV shows or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And it's kind of like we're all addicted to something digital these days. And I guess the question is, how do we break that cycle? Because even if I stop video games, that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to stop going on Reddit or going on YouTube or going on Netflix all the time. And then there's the other side of, like, even if it's healthy, there is such a thing as too much reading or audiobooks where you're not really taking it in because you're just becoming overloaded with all this information, even if it is all non-fiction books. So even the people who are out there doing things, a lot of the time are uploading this to Facebook or Instagram. So even if they're not consuming, they're still, in a way, addicted to doing things for that social validation online. And I guess it's hard to sort of work out, not that I'm trying to fix the world or anything, but how do I fix myself? Because all of this is designed to get you addicted to it. It's designed to be engaging in one way or another, to give you those dopamine hits that make you feel like you're doing something important when you're really not. And yeah, I guess it's just what can I do about it, you know? So it got me thinking about, like, what a dopamine detox is, and I'm going to do some more research and then make a video about that once I know more about it and the process of it. But even then, it's still hard because there's people around me who are consuming that sort of stuff, and, like, you obviously want to stay socially engaged too. So if I stop watching TV shows, for example, but all people around me want to talk about TV shows, I can't communicate with them. And like, and obviously you don't have to talk to everyone, but especially when it's friends or people at work and that's what they're talking about, you want to engage in the conversation. You really don't want to be that stick in the mud who sits there and goes like, well, I don't watch TV actually. Really don't want to talk about this shit. I'm really not that fucking interested. Can we talk about something else? and then just like make that every conversation because, you know, they don't do what you're doing. So yeah, it's a bit of a complex situation, bit of a complicated sort of yeah. So we'll see what results I come to, and I'll make sure I let you guys know. And yeah, all right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.